YouTube, what up? Welcome back. 3 new Spider-Man figures. Let's just jump right into it. Do you got these? Let me know. Here's the back side. You guys can read it. Actually, you probably can't because it's too far away. But I love these figures already. Just to let you know. So we're jumping in the review. Telling you I love these figures. And I'll tell you why I love these figures. Not just because they're Spider-Man figures, but there are reasons why I like these figures a lot. And it's impressive to see Hasbro come out with Spider-Man different than the traditional stuff they've been doing for a long time with the spider webs and stuff. I mean, we love spiderweb Spider-Man, but I love to see new suits, new designs in action figure form. So happy. We give a round of applause to Hasbro and them for achieving this, because this is pretty dope. I know a lot of guys are like, oh, it's just another Spider-Man, but for me, it's not just another Spider-Man. It's Ends of Earth Spider-Man, Superior Octopus, and the Velocity suit, whatever. But it's a new suit too, so I'm happy to see that. I was surprised that they did the Velocity suit alongside the Mk3 armor, seeing that the Resilient suit and the Velocity are 2 actual Gamerverse suits. 3 out of 6 figures in the wave, 3 cool spiders. The other ones are pretty, well, one other one is spider related, Vulture, and the other ones aren't. I guess, I don't know. The Demo Goblin is also. But I like these spiders. If you give me 3 cool spiders out of a wave, I won't ever complain. There have been times I have complained about the lack of spiders in Spider-Man waves. But man, if you give me 3 good spiders, I'll never complain. I think this is a really awesome wave. For me anyway, you get a whole new body. You get all new bodies with all 3 of these guys. This guy, I mean, this guy is pretty much the 2099 body. Make no mistake. The only difference is that ab and diaphragm joint swap out. So he has a diaphragm joint where the others have a nab crunch. Now, as far as the Gamerverse figures go, these are both 2 new bodies. We'll get into the Velocity first. I don't really care for the Velocity suit. It was never one of my favorites in the game, but I can always appreciate a new Spider-Man suit, and it is really accurate to the game design, give or take the color variation, right? But it looks just like the game. So it's an Iron Man suit, more or less, which looks like an Iron Man suit. It's not, but it looks like an Iron Man suit. Knowing that this is Insomniac's original design, I like that idea, and I appreciate that it's in figure form. So, you know, even though I kind of collect comic book characters, this fits the line because it's not a movie figure. It's not like overly detailed, but it does have really cool details like blocky and stuff, and the logo is sculpted in, and the ab crunch works really well. Yeah, it looks nice, man. It looks really cool. You know, at first I wanted to buy a second one of these to try to sculpt over it and make the Doc Ock proof suit, but seeing it now, I don't think it's gonna be a good idea. The logo works, but it's not a good idea. And then these arms don't ever get straight. They just curve that way. And then the shoulders just like, looks like his chest is popped out all the time. I don't know, I feel like the figure just doesn't relax well. It's never at a relaxed position. It's always so tense. Like if you were to take a figure with butterfly joints and bend them back a little bit, that's what this figure looks like. His arms are a little to the back, where his chest is overly exposed. Yeah, but other than that, the figure works really well. I would have preferred it with butterfly joints, of course, but I don't think it needs butterfly joints for whatever the design is. It's pretty puffy in the chest, so it is nice. I wish we had better hands though. This thwip hand and this fist just aren't enough. Like we need either 2 fists or 2 thwip hands or 2 open hands. I mean, just give us. I would suggest 2 fists and then maybe 1 thwip hand extra, because having 1 thwip hand and 1 fist all the time is really boring. But you get this really cool web bomb explosion. It's like a little web that wraps around the shoulders of another figure. And for some reason, it fits this figure better than any other figure. I don't know why they would mold it to the Velocity suit. But another cool thing is you can take the web part from the Ends of Earth Spider-Man and kind of do it like that to make it seem like it just totally exploded in his face and his shoulders. I was thinking of a dirty joke, sorry. And that's it. It looks pretty cool, honestly. I appreciate some web accessories because we haven't got any. The Velocity suit, for a design that was really not my cup of tea, I really like this figure. Is it perfect? No, they never are. If they were perfect, then you wouldn't buy another figure. But I like it and I would recommend it. So pick one up if you're lucky to find one. You should, because they're gonna be shelf warmers. The Ends of Earth SpiderMan Suit. This is a armor suit. I think it's his third one. Very accurate to the game design. People are calling it the Mk3 armor only because that's what the game calls it. And this suit is more designed based off the video game rather than the comic that it comes from. The comic design is a little different. The face mask has web lines, kind of. And it's just a little different. I like this version of it. Honestly, I've grown fond to this version after playing the game for so long, but I feel like this character is a little, well, this figure is a little slim. It looks teenager-ish. It doesn't look like a man in a buff suit. It looks like a boy in a suit, like a Nova suit almost. But I like it. The shoulders go up really well. Don't be afraid to move them up. The pads won't restrict the arm movement. You can kind of lift it up and get a little more movement, and I think that's pretty cool. But don't go too far, because then you're gonna end up bending the shoulder pad, and then you're gonna have to squeeze it back just to get it into shape. But you do get a lot of arm movement. You can see that if you kind of like finagle it, you can get it high versus you just lifting it regularly. But I like that because they don't have butterfly joints, but you can move the arms up really high. It frustrates me when you can't move arms up high. Wolverine yellow suit. Ab crunch goes back okay. It's not painted or anything, so the spider breaks. Ab crunch works really well. Thigh split. Articulation is cool with this figure. I like the articulation and I like the design. My only problem again with this is the hands and lack of accessories. We need better hands. Like with Shang-Chi in the wave, that dude had like 10 hands, bro. 10 hands. 10. That's not even necessary, man. Come on, like, come on. We can get at least a pair of cool hands with this guy. Speaking of hands, if you wonder why my hands are dirty, I'm painting, working on something as usual. I got some stuff I want to show you in a few, so stay tuned for that. Smooth glossed out helmet with a textured chest plate and a matted out arm and back piece. It's all over the place with the consistency of the overall look, but the design is nice. I guess if you really wanted to fine tune it, you can. I don't think I will. I like it enough. I think everything should have either been glossed out or everything should have been matted out. Alone from the helmet could have been glossed because that's the way it is in the game. But you do get fair enough articulation, and I like this figure. Honestly, this is a cool figure in the way. This is, yeah, I don't know. I don't do numbers like that. So like the Velocity suit, you can also take his piece and combine it with this guy's and create some cool diorama pics by wrapping up figures. And if this doesn't make any sense, you can always swap them up. These figures, it's like a love and hate relationship. I love them, but I hate them. I love the idea of them, but I hate the execution of them. But if you're wondering, that's the SpiderMan Symbiote Kraven 2-pack unmasked head. I think it looks cool with the 6-arm Spider-Man. And this looks really nice with any figure, actually. So, come on, Hasbro. You could have gave us something better than these guys, man. Whatever is right, because look what they gave us now. Something really cool. So I'm mad at them for that, and I'm happy with them for this. This is a great figure, man. This probably is the best figure for me in the wave. I know a lot of guys want to say Demogoblin or Vulture maybe because it completes the Sinister Six, but or whatever. Even the White Rabbit, Shang-Chi possibly. Everybody. I love this figure. I just want to tell you. I don't care what anyone else thinks. This is my opinion. You clicked on my review. I love this figure because, one, it's already on the best body Marvel Legends can produce, and then now it has a diaphragm joint. And I never knew how good a diaphragm joint could be, you know, especially if done right. I know with Storm Collectible stuff, it's great because they have a 2-ball system. But this here, man, this is done pretty nice, man. I mean, I think it would benefit to also have an ab crunch. That would be great. A waist swivel ab crunch diaphragm like Beast and like the Power Ranger lines. Come on, man. I know I'm asking for a lot, but you're doing it with the Power Rangers. It would be cool to start doing them with some cool Spider-Man figures, even some like rare 2-pack ones or whatever. But look, I got 3 of these guys. I love them. I'll probably use one eventually for a custom, but I'm gonna buy these guys because I like them. Like the design so much that I made 4 customs of the Superior Octopus. So, I don't know. I'm happy to own it. Happy to finally be able to go out and get it. And I know a lot of people say, oh, Hasbro copies you. No, they don't. And even if they did, it benefits us all because we can now go out and buy a quote custom figure for 20 bucks. And I like to double up because sometimes figures break. So I got 2 of these guys each, but 3 of Superior Octopus because he is my favorite of the wave. I think the unmasked Peter Parker head from the Symbiote Kraven 2-pack works well with this as well. I mean, his hair is a little different. If you guys remember, I'll show you. I'm not gonna show you, but go back to one of my reviews if you want, or pick up an actual comic book and see what his hair design is like. It's not like Peter's. It's a little different. It's like a shave to the side, but this works nonetheless because he is a clone of Peter Parker. And having a black eye seems to look like he got into some trouble. So I like that look for Superior Octopus. This works really well. Everything is cool. The hands, man. Again, we just need extra hands. How are you giving us one cool hand like that and then one fist? We need 2 fists or 2 cool hands like that. But the wrist cuffs look really cool. The web shooters, I don't know if that's where he shoots his web from. Love it. I love this figure a lot. And I will buy another one if I see it in the wild. If you guys see this in the wild, notify me immediately because I'm going to continue to buy these figures. I don't care. I will hoard them. I will hoard these mother... I know some of you are like, yo, how can you like this figure with these tentacles? Yeah, all right, that's true. These are some of the worst tentacles made. And I guess I can't say that because we only have 2. These and Doc Ock, right? Doc Ock are pretty terrible too. These work a little better than Doc Ock because they're softer, so you can manipulate the position you want them in. But they are terrible, guys. Like it is a pain in the ass to try to get them to look cool. You can get them to look cool. There are times where I get them to look cool, and then I put them away and I take it back out, and it's like they're like limp noodles. Like you can't do nothing with them. Hasbro, you lied. You told us they were articulated, and I will hold that against you forever. No, I won't. But you did tell us it was articulated, and I wonder why. Why didn't you do it? It's definitely doable. I wanted to take a piece of floral wiring and just slip it through there myself somehow, or just I don't know how. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I think I want to modify this. People have been asking me, and I don't know what to do because I haven't spent enough time. But I do like the backpack. You created the backpack really well. I wish I did it that way with the slant on both angles, like a diamond shape, because that makes the legs split out and open rather than keeping them close together the way I made them. So I love the backpack design. I think I saw another customizer do that. I don't know if it was Action Figure Toronto or Leeds, or I don't know if Leeds is even a real guy, Leech or some shit. I'm sorry guys for butchering your name because I do watch a lot of other people's stuff. But that backpack is done really well. Yeah. But again, the tentacles are garbage. Let's just be fair. The clamps, like everything about it is pretty flimsy. But it's doable. It's workable. And for 20 bucks, I mean, what do you really expect, right? So I'm not too disappointed with it. So still, it's one of my favorite figures. I will still pick up more. I still will hoard these figures. But that's something you should probably know about. The tentacles are garbage. Nice to have all new, all different Spider-Man alongside the Superior Octopus, seeing that these guys did fight in the comics. So you could recreate some cool scenes. Peter Parker versus Dr. Octopus or his clone. And I think that's pretty awesome. So I don't know why this wasn't a 2-pack. This should have been a 2-pack rather than the Mary Jane. All 4 of these bodies are the same, minus the Superior Octopus. He has a diaphragm joint, but I'm pretty certain that everything else is the same. I mean, it looks pretty spot on to the rest of these bodies, and these bodies are my favorite Marvel Legend bodies. I mean, they have some issues. They're not perfect, but I think if they had a diaphragm joint with an ab crunch, my goodness, they would be impeccable. Like you couldn't. I wouldn't say I would never complain again because that'd be a lie, but I wouldn't complain for a long time to get a figure with that type of articulation. Nonetheless, these are some of my favorite Spider-Man designs, the 2099, the Kane, and the PS4 Spider-Man. I hope to see more Spider-Man on this body type in the future, or on the upgrade one I was mentioning earlier. But this one is good enough for now. So far, these are the figures we got from the Gameverse, but if you really think about it, we got more figures from the Gameverse. Mucho more. Many more spiders from the Gameverse. These are all the costumes that you can choose from in the game. There are others that we don't have in action figure form yet, but these are what we have so far.
No.
What you staring at? Let me close it out with, yes, I mean, obviously, if you haven't heard and watched by now, I like these figures a lot. And usually I complain about the same figures we get over and over that become repetitive, but this here is a hit for me. All three of these guys I really enjoy. Even the other guys. Shang-Chi is a really good figure to have for a custom because he's pretty much on the same body, just with bigger arms. Vulture's pretty cool, just he has bigger shoulders as well. So the entire wave can be put to use. But I like these three the most, and I bought multiples of these, and I do recommend them. So guys, if you like this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think about these guys, if you got a chance to pick them up yet, and which one you're looking forward to the most. And feel free to subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.
But if you choose to subscribe, you the man. Yes, you. Everyone below in the comments, yes, you too. Thank you very much for showing me love. Who knew? It's ironic how we think out the box for you too, right?